And I think one thing I want to touch on too is at the end of the sort of split, Minji started to play a lot better than he was in early, so another player we can look towards. But we will hit it now into the champion select. We see Kasante Maokai banned from Impunity, and Azir Vi is the answer from J-Team. So I think mostly these bans are what we saw in the spring split, maybe Azir being the only difference. But for the most part, things staying the same as we saw.
And I want to see if LeBlanc will be banned away here. It is patch 13.12, so it is the strongest Shiv patch. Nico is taken away instead, so potentially giving over the LeBlanc. And you have to think it will be prioritized here. It's probably the strongest mid laner on the patch, maybe behind Nico, and it is locked in.
Yeah, well, I think giving that away, you have to have a strong answer, because I think LeBlanc, with the current static Shiv on the on 12.2, 13.2, sorry, as you said, I think it's hard to ever play against her. I mean, Tristana has been a very prominent mid lane pick internationally so far in the summer split, but I don't know how well it will do into LeBlanc necessarily, because she can kind of just poke you away with static Shiv these days.
Yeah, it will be really interesting. I think Tristana in the laning phase heavily favored up against LeBlanc, at least in the 1v1. Obviously do have to be scared of the ganks, but you're right, it can kind of be difficult in the mid game once LeBlanc reaches that static Shiv, but it's perhaps hoping that he can snowball the game before it gets to that point. There's obviously the chance of it going bot lane, but you have to feel like it's a mid lane with Tristana.
Yeah, I think with LeBlanc being first pick, you're pretty safe to just instantly answer with your mid lane pick. There's not too much to be worried about. Sejuani will be the second pick here for J-Team, and it is going to be, I mean, one of the most staple champions we've seen this year everywhere around the globe. It is going to be locked in. Wukong has been the answer we've always seen. That is also going to be locked in, so not much is changing here between splits.
Yeah, not in the jungle, but I think the other lanes at least might see some new flavors come through. Jax is the hover and is grabbed here, so a takeaway from Driver also denies the Sejuani Jax combo. And I wonder, will they pick a top laner now? I mean, there is the likes of the Gragas. Yeah, is locked in, so a very good matchup up against the Jax, and a champ the Drivers looked very comfortable on before. So it looks like both teams have decided to drop their bot lane, which maybe means that this AD carry pool can be attacked.
Yeah, definitely. What do you attack, though, if you're going for the AD carry sort of bans? I mean, Zarya, Aphelios seem to be pretty strong in the current meta.
Yeah, I kind of like the Aphelios. It looks like they're going to go for supports instead. Maybe want to take away some of that follow-up engage with the Wukong. Maybe I'm just happy taking away their priority ADC and leaving that support for counterpick. So we'll have to see. It is Braum as the counter, so denies the Sejuani Braum combo, which is very, very good for skirmishing, obviously. Can also be used to invade the buff at level 1, which can be another thing that's very difficult to deal with.
I wonder if either team here looks to ban Milio, because I feel like Milio is an extremely strong champ, can be paired with Lucian, even stronger than I think Nami Lucian was in previous patches, so I think Milio might be looked at by one of the teams here. Blitzcrank will, however, be the ban for J-Team.
Blitzcrank is kind of a strange takeaway, but the Milio answer ban comes out. Now, I would expect J-Team, are they going to take away a strong support, or would they prefer to pick ADC and counterpick? Looks like they're hovering towards the Nautilus. Might be worried about the melee support ball being targeted too much. I do like this more. I think taking a blind ADC and counterpicking with your support on 5 probably is the better use of that red side counterpick. And Aphelios, very strong ADC on the patch, is the lock-in.
Yeah, definitely a strong pick here. I think Aphelios can have problems if he is set at all behind with trying to deal with LeBlanc, Wukong, and Jax. But if you are able to sort of stay somewhat even and get your items online, get to maybe 3 items, you do start to take over a game entirely. Kai'Sa, an extremely strong champion, again with static Shiv. Guinsoo's or AP are both options here that are viable for the Kai'Sa nowadays. And it is Kai'Sa Nautilus, probably 2 of the most well-matched AD carries there are in the game.
Yeah, Kai'Sa Nautilus, bit of a timeless classic at this point. And Impunity, I mean, they've really gone for the full threat comp. Just go forward, try and get kills, try and dive. J-Team, on the other hand, they have a bit more of a kite back comp, something that's a bit more difficult to execute. Definitely requires a bit more finesse when it comes to those team fights. And Renata is the lock-in, which I think deals pretty well with the side of Impunity. Overall, I think if J-Team can pull it off, I feel like they have the better comp, but it's not an easy comp to pull off.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And I wonder if, I mean, we saw obviously in playoffs Yubel playing this Tristana and pretty much just used it to sit in the side lane the entire game. And I have to feel like Minji might opt to do something similar. She should be getting an advantage in the side lane against LeBlanc. I think LeBlanc fares better in the 5v5 skirmish, as you can just sort of dart in and out, throw out your abilities. I feel like that will be sort of the way this this sort of micro is played.
Yeah, will be really interesting. I think on this side of Impunity, I'm kind of glad they have gone for something like this because I think it's very easy to just pick something safe and standard in your first game. But have gone with a very aggressive comp, and I think it can be good as well. Sometimes people play too safe on stage and will give you too much if you do play those aggressive options. So I do like it, and I think for me, at least, I'm looking towards this Tristana-LeBlanc matchup quite a lot. LeBlanc, obviously, one of the very strong power picks on this patch. For those of you that are unaware, it is LeBlanc with the Static Shiv Night Harvester build, which gives LeBlanc a ton of wave clear, as well as a lot of poke. It's very, very difficult to deal with, but the way people have been trying to deal with it is kind of putting her behind before that point. Before Static Shiv, you are relatively weak, you're not particularly good at skirmishing, and you just don't have the kind of damage that you would normally. So that's maybe where the Tristana can look to get some damage done, get some plates, push the LeBlanc in, but there's always the threat of that gank setup, especially with the Wukong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sejuani obviously not as strong at ganking, particularly when you are not a melee champion. So maybe, I think I wouldn't be too surprised to see a bit of priority for the junglers around bot lane as well, because I feel like the Aphelios does need to sort of get some items behind him before he can have an impact here, especially having to deal with LeBlanc if she is not put behind. So we are now going to load onto the Rift. It is a different animation. It looks pretty sick, I have to think. And here we are, Summer Split 2023.
Yeah, our first game. Feels good to be back, and I'm liking the comps we've seen so far. Maybe some level 1 invade on the top side. Looks like it will just be a ward dropped on the red. Was maybe thinking about faking it, but decided to commit. And take a look at the runes. I mean, Driver, he's gone for the Absolute Focus Scorch Comet page. No more scaling.
Yeah, and we have fleet footwork on LeBlanc, of course, getting a little bit of movement speed from that as well as slight amounts of healing.
I'm a little surprised by the comment. I feel like most Gragas up against Jax do opt for the phase rush instead, but maybe just feel confident that you can disengage the trades anyway, even without the movement speed. Just save that E for when Jax jumps on you. We'll have to see how the matchup plays out. Yeah, I have confidence in Driver.
Driver is one of the most sort of exciting top laners there is to watch. Very aggressive in his play generally, and I think he's got a good matchup here, so he's opted to try and get a lead and extend that for himself. Trades going on mid already. Pretty even, all things considered.
I think LeBlanc had bone plating there, and it was procced. Both junglers opting for that solo start, so just allowing all the lanes to start in lane. Level 1 hook.
Yeah, Inso getting poked out a little bit here, but Aphelios range level 1 should be able to return the damage nicely there, and all should be fine as well in the bot lane. But Minji here looking aggressive, trying to get as much damage with that bomb on Tristana as possible.
Yeah, doing a good job here. Just keep pushing this in. Knows that he can't really get ganked at least before level 2. Even then, LeBlanc kind of unlikely to take the chain by that point. But so far, a little bit of action in every lane, but nothing to write home about, at least just yet.
Well, top lane health is definitely in favor of Driver as the wave pushes towards him.
Yeah, heavy trade in bot lane as well. Blaze lost a lot of HP there. Just on the way out. Things
looking good so far for J-Team. Now, you've been in the position before. It's the first game of the split returning. How do you feel? Like, are there any nerves? Or, like, what are you sort of your mindset going in as it's, like, in the team?
I feel like, for most people, you kind of see it as a new beginning in a way. I'd say there wouldn't be too many nerves. It would be more excitement, I think, to kind of see what you have, especially when you are, a kind of re-put back together roster on the side of Impunity here. And Lalva is pathing towards bot. Blaze has lost a lot of HP and might find themselves in danger of getting dived on this crashed wave.
Yeah, both Sums no heal, though, importantly. So Lalva looking, is in fog, will be spotted out now as there is a wave, but Wukong should be able to thwart that off.
Yeah, it is pushed away, but Blaze still lost a significant amount of CS under the tower. And that's really not the start you want.
Ooh. LJW extremely low here as Driver just trying to trade as can't get that wave in, and level up will give him a little bit of health back, but Driver certainly not letting this farm go away for free.
Yeah, he's going to keep that wave in that very difficult position there. And there's no jungle help to break it. Blaze, he commits to a recall very early, but all he can buy is a longsword and a potion. I think Bruce is going to be in such a good spot. Minji.
Oh, nice foresight to avoid that gank there and remain healthy in his lane.
It was looked at there. Managing to avoid those ganks is very, very crucial. And LJW, he goes home, just buys himself some magic resist. Up against that Gragas Sejuani does make sense. Probably wants to go towards those Merc Treads very early. And I'm looking to see what Bruce buys here. Can he buy anything that's going to allow him to really, abuse bot lane? Maybe not. Minji, he should have W up by now. Chain misses.
Ooh, Minji is playing towards the correct side of the map as Lalva comes in, return damage. There is no invisibility available here. Wukong going to get stunned up. It is extremely low. Are they going to be able to find it? Lalva, first blood.
Very nice play there, I think, from Lalva to counter gank. That it's very, very important that Tristana is just allowed to push, and they're rewarded for their efforts. I think that first blood, especially on the Sejuani, can be very, very difficult to deal with a tank accelerated so early. We'll manage to crash the wave as well. And going back to bot lane, it's now 2 long swords for Bruce, so we'll have that AD advantage and can probably use it to get himself a bit more. We'll get a replay of it. So Lalva, he was in the area. I don't believe they had a ward on Wukong, but like you said, Minji, hugging to the correct side of the map. And actually, the side of Impunity, they knew that Lalva was around here, just not respecting. I feel like it's a big mistake there from Arashi to keep chasing.
Yeah. Oh well. First blood of the first game back does go towards J-Team, so a good start for them as LJW trying to find a trade onto Driver, and maybe we're seeing why he's supposed to take Phase Rush, is going to waddle away here. No mana, very low on health as LJW goes forward, but Lalva has arrived. Flash available for Jax here. Does land the slow, but that will be all.
The Driver almost punished for greeting his reset there. Oh, and a lot of damage comes out onto the LeBlanc. It's even the Vamp Scepter, I think, picked up by Minji here, which is very, very nice. Hook comes out.
Hook comes out, yeah. It is going to be Inso getting extremely low, but there is no follow-up. A lot of damage from Inferno coming out for Bruce, and ultimately, that trade does go in favor of J-Team.
Yeah, I think especially with Bruce being healthy here, can just keep staying in lane.
Oh, Arashi finds a timing, but maybe it's just too late as J-Team do manage to find the hook here onto Bruce. Is he going to be able to get away? Does have flash available, but maybe holding it for too long. Ghost used, rooted up. Bruce flashes. Oh, he does avoid the killer instinct, but what a close fight there as Lalva now hit it down as well. It's just chaos in the bottom lane so far.
Yeah, a lot of sums burn. Lalva, he might be able to get Arashi here.
Yeah, Arashi, no flash available. It is just going to be a quick scope there, and Lalva picks up a second.
And Blaze is in trouble. Solo kill in the mid lane here, going to be picked up by Minji. And bot lane's in trouble too.
Yeah, it is going to be Blaze going down. What are they going to be able to do here? Is Smurf going to go down as well? He does get rooted up, but not enough follow-up damage for now. Does Lalva hang around? The wave is approaching. He does come down here, but
yeah, I think if they can cancel them one more time, they can probably look for more. Looks like they'll be unable to, but the damage really is already done. Denying Blaze that gold onto the bot side is very, very difficult. And so far, it seems like Impunity kind of just being outplayed across the board. In the lanes, in those 1v1s and 2v2s. Even the solo kill picked up mid there for Minji. Maybe showing why Tristana is a good matchup into this LeBlanc.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it does come down to Lalva being in the right place at the right time. A couple of those ganks, but also credit to Minji always playing around the correct side as we take a look towards this kill.
And Shera, I think he just looks like he used 2 dashes forward, took a lot of damage in return, and I guess just greeted it. It is quite difficult, I think, as this LeBlanc. You really need to get towards that Shiv, and you can't afford to give up waves. At the same time, against a champ like Tristana, who is, with the Vamp Scepter, got both lifesteal and push, it can be very difficult to stay in lane. And I want to see, did he dash forward? Yeah, dashed forward, was punished there by Minji. Nice flash to get himself out as well. Very nice.
Yep, and now another replay, another kill for Lalva. Pretty simple, just was able to catch the Wukong by surprise.
And poor Blaze, I wonder how many waves he's lost this game. Is already so far behind, and I believe Kaiser's a Shiv rusher as well. Goes to the Shiv Nash's Rageblade build, I think it is. So really not a good start here for Impunity. They have a lot of pick tools. Potentially is a way for them to get back into this game, but so far kind of losing across the board.
Yeah, we also saw the Kimtech Drake be picked up there by J-Team as well, so got that on the board to start stacking those dragons, which will remain just as important as they did last split, so look to that as a sort of win con for most teams.
Lalva, he's going to try sneak this. He does have priority in both mid and top, so he should be able to pick that up. On the bot side though, J-Team, they should be aware that they are heavily weak-sided at this point, just need to do their best not to die. And they look pretty safe. I mean, they have full HP. They do have flash and Enso. Bruce, though, he could be vulnerable without his sums and the wave pushing out. Just need to play it slow here.
Yeah, looks like more plays probably going over here to Minji in that middle lane. Have to see where the Rift Herald goes, but I think both bot and mid are feasible options. And Smurf does go in, going to get rooted and pulled back. Have to be careful not to overextend here as Bruce and Enzo, but for now, just finding a lot of damage onto that Nautilus.
Yeah, so much damage on the way out. Will it bait Bruce into playing too aggressive?
He's going to get it. He finds a Cyclone. It is going to be answered, though. A lot of damage found onto Bruce. He's low. Arashi going in. Blaze going in. It is going to be a kill found. Bruce goes down. Arashi super low, but that is going to be all. 1 kill over to Impunity.
Oh, so close there. Bruce, he just got a little bit greedy at the end. Tried to pick himself up a kill and couldn't quite get it. Was very close, though. And I think Blaze picking up that kill. Very important for him, getting the Kai'Sa back into the game. Looks like the wave can be frozen, though, so Bruce is going to get at least some of this gold.
I honestly thought with that hostile takeover, Bruce should have been safe to live, but maybe he stepped up a little bit too much and let Blaze get that killer instinct and find the kill, but it was a war of inches just there as recall will be stopped. Chain lands. Not too much of a trade. Actually, Jirax letting the bomb get stacked up quite well by Minji. Pretty even trade, all things considered, however.
Yeah, a lot of damage taken on his tower, though. Minji, I don't think he has W. No, it's not up for 5 more seconds. Didn't actually get that reset, so can't look for any sort of punish here anymore. Most likely will just look to back off. He might have the balk by now if that's what he's going for.
Yeah, could be the balk, I believe, and he'll take a look at the replay of bot lane.
Yeah, so a lot of damage traded onto the Nautilus initially. Kind of, baits Bruce into going forward, so not a bad start by any means, but I believe Renata hits 6. Yeah, she hits 6 off the cannon. If the trigger had been pulled slightly earlier, I think this might have worked, but I think Bruce was out. Unfortunately, decides to walk back in and finds himself a victim of Blaze. Was so close to trading one back as well.
Yeah, he would have lived if he was able to get that kill as well, so really was such a close call.
Maybe looking for a repeat play on Bruce. He does have sums up there, though, and Lava's in the area.
Bruce. Oh, the hook doesn't land, and there will be no follow-up for now as Arashi running for his life, but Lauva finds a frozen tomb. Are they going to be able to take down the Nautilus here? It looks like they will, so another kill now onto Bruce.
Yeah, very nice pickup there. And with Minji coming down, should be able to deny even more waves onto Blaze's. Kai'Sa was trying to find himself a way back into the game, but is now ripped away from him. And it's already 7 plates picked up for J-Team to Impunity 0. It's about to be even more here. The gold lead is starting to get out of control.
Yeah, it's another 2 plates there found, so up to 9. And all of these are mostly on the mid and the AD carry here of J-Team, who are pretty much the 2 threats on the team. Definitely things looking bleak for Impunity so far in their first game. Lava finds a pocket of vision where he's able to look for Smurf. Doesn't find anything yet. In fact, a lot of damage in return for Blaze.
I wonder how much gold Bruce has now. Got himself that solo tower gold, and it looks like it will be the Kraken Slayer picked up. And it will just be sitting on that Vamp Scepter. I actually like that a lot. I think having the Vamp up against the LeBlanc poke from the Static Shiv is a very good idea. So getting that early does feel good. And top tower, hasn't had any pressure really put towards it other than Driver in the 1v1, but certainly making great use out of his top lane counter pick. He's up 45 CS and 4 plates to 0, which feels like it's a bad matchup for Jax. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, maybe not. I think maybe the Arcane Comet does make it a little bit worse, but yeah, again, 4 plates as Gragas with no jungle assistance is pretty crazy when you think about it. Gragas definitely doesn't do a whole lot of damage to towers, so he's had a lot of time to himself up in that top lane.
Yeah, very impressive, and kind of what we were saying about Driver, no matter what happens in top lane, he'll find himself a lead. Nice little graphic there. Infernal Drake is the second drag now picked up by J-Team.
Yeah, Hextech Soul in the next 10 minutes, so 23-minute timer on that, assuming J-Team are able to find them, and at this stage of the game, it does look like they are in the position to do so. So yeah, things looking really good. Both Kraken Slayers now on both the AD carries of J-Team, so LJW getting poked out yet again. Explosive cast just for damage. Flash forward. Everfrost is going to be able to find it. That's a solo kill for Driver.
Very nice. He's going to bring himself an even greater lead here. Well, it's just a clean executed combo, honestly. Even with the tenacity from the Merc Treads was not enough. And Driver, I think he set himself a goal to take all 5 plates in the 1v1 before 14 minutes. And he's done it.
That's insane.
Yeah, very, very nice. As we'll see here, There really isn't too much to it, just goes for the E-Flash with the Everfrost follow-up. Not much Jax can do at this point. Already down 2 levels and so much gold.
Oh, hold up. It's Lalva getting found out in the Dragon Pit for some reason. Is going to be able to go down. It is Blaze picking it up. So a shutdown onto this Kaiser could be your ticket back.
Yeah, very, very nice. I think gold going onto Kaiser is extremely important. You wonder if it's too little too late. If you're the side of Impunity, you certainly hope not. And Sherry needs to be careful. He's going to face check Minji here.
Yeah, Minji finding a lot of damage. Isn't going to be able to find the kill. But with that, Shira really cannot contest Minji in this lane. Should be able to push it in as much as he likes now.
Yeah, I think credit to Shera has managed to have himself a CS lead. And we'll see what happened to Lalva. So he's overstaged for a little bit to take the Krugs, but it should still be fine because he's got a lot of pressure on the map. Ooh, it looks like he pathed a bit greedy. Tried to go for the Hextech gate and was found out. At least there was like a lot of cooldowns used for his death. It wasn't just completely for free, but still a little unnecessary.
Yeah, definitely. It is the Evershroud here for that Sejuani, so change up on the build paths as we saw compared to last split, but certainly offers a lot of CC for that extra damage that the item provides, so.
Now, eyes could be on this mid tower.
Smurf, Everfrost from Driver. He does find the explosive cast back into the team. Another kill picked up there for this Gragas.
Hey, Gragas is approaching a 60 CS lead while winning his lane and having all this impact on the map. I mean, can you ask for anything more from Driver? I don't think so. And with that, it should be J-Team looking towards that Herald. Would be good to keep the foot on the accelerator here. Try and make sure Impunity don't have a chance to get back into this game because with their comp, or Shera
goes back to
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little strange, maybe overestimating his abilities there. I think it is very, very difficult up against the Tristana because the Shiv LeBlanc's win condition is to poke you down over and over. It's really not the same kind of all-in build, not until later in the game. And the problem is that Tristana with lifesteal as well as great extended damage, you can't really do that. And it's now really paying the price.
Yeah, absolutely. Half health on this tower now as Blaze looks to answer that minion wave, but here Glacial Prison going to be used. Smurf going to flash out, but another tower was picked up there mid. More towers going down across the map as well as look at the health on this top lane tower. It's so low. It's going to be Shera coming here to try and defend it, but feels like only a matter of time until that one goes down, especially with Rift Herald in the pocket.
Yeah, Rift Herald still being up with all these towers going down is very, very useful. Have themselves, you know, quickly approaching that 10,000 gold lead. Don't have it quite yet, but shouldn't be too long. And third dragon, only a minute away. I feel like Impunity might want to contest. I don't think they have a super scaling win condition in this game. Maybe if they can just find a pick or a trade, either could be good, but it feels so difficult, I think, to fight up against J-Team, who they've spiked all across the board so early. They just have so much gold.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Zhonya's now picked up for Driver on this Gragas, you have to feel like he's not really ever going to be going down in a fight. And if he does go down, he's wasted so much of your time that you probably lost every member of your team. So things looking very bleak here. I don't really know how they can contest the Dragon, even though, as you said, they might have to just by necessity of not losing the game. Minji, though, a lot of pressure on this top wave, especially with that teleport up on the Tristana.
Yeah, Impunity, they're around mid, but I don't think they can contest. Both their side laners are showing, so need to at least wait for Shera and LJW to push out. Lalva, though, he's getting very aggressive in this top side, drops the Herald, and that should be tier 2 falling not too long.
Driver looking for Blaze. Flash will find the explosive cast, but flashed out from Blaze. He's going to have to use Killer Instinct as well, as this tower is not long for the world. That is every single cooldown off of this Kaiser, and Kaiser has both your kills as well as the majority of your gold.
Arashi has a flank.
Yeah, Arashi finds it. That is going to be a 3-man Cyclone. Nice AoE here found. This might be the ticket back in. Impunity finding a massive team fight. And it is Arashi going down first, however, as Minji is so low on the side. But it's just too little too late. J-Team are finding so much damage despite how poorly that fight started. 3 found. Shiva now going down as well as Blaze. It's going to be an almost clean ace.
It is an Impunity. I think you have to feel so sad about that one. You have kind of everything you've been looking for, the flank, the great engage, but it really is, just like you said, too little too late. Feels like they were robbed of that team fight win, but Bruce just so accelerated, cleans them all up. I want to say it was a very nice Renata ult coming through from Enzo, who kind of kept them in that as well, but now the gold lead, you know, getting over 10,000. and how all this started. You know, Driver with the flash onto Blaze, and I think this is pretty important because Kai'Sa losing all her summons, you know, makes it very difficult for her to fight, and she's kind of the most accelerated member. She did get a couple shutdowns this game. We pay attention here to Arashi's flank, which was very, very good. I mean, they found the engage they were looking for. I even feel like, despite being at a gold deficit, if it was just a smaller gold deficit, probably would have come away with a teamfight win here, but unfortunately, just lacked the damage.
Yeah, I think Depth Charge knocked up 4 people. I think Cyclone eventually knocked up all 5, and on top of that, I believe Jack's done 4. So it looked like they had all the tools they needed to win, just didn't have the items.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but perhaps a sign of things to come if this team can stabilize their early game in future. Have shown us at least a little bit of team fighting promise. And now what's your play next for Impunity? It feels very tough. I mean, kind of just feel like you have to wait for the side of J-Team to make a mistake. If they can find another engage like that, though, maybe they can at least grab some shutdowns. Lava, though, he's so tanky. Feels like if you hit a Naught hook on him, still won't die, even with 5 members on him. It is the Nash's now completed for Blaze, so has himself that 2-item spike. And
yeah.
Minji, he's ready to solo the Baron.
Yeah, we'll be started here. Lalva can tank this up for a long, long time, and with both Minji as well as Bruce having Kraken Slayer, should go down relatively quickly.
Well, I have to say, I think that's the fastest Baron of the summer split.
Yeah, that is insane. That was an uncontested 20-minute Baron that went down before 20 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, and I think as well, there's not even that much that can be traded. I mean, all they can really get is this tier 1 bot tower, which, you know, it's really just not enough at this point. I feel like Impunity, they have really run out of options. Maybe they have one last chance to defend their base here as J-Team, they're going to try to set some records nice and early. They're already knocking on the base here. Inhib #1 falls, and the top inhib now being looked at as well.
Yeah, how aggressive do they get here? They are starting to Hex Tech gate out, but maybe that is just Bruce trying to position more safely as Minji now starting to get to work on this top tower. Massive amount of damage from both the bomb and the cast. Here we go. We do see a 4-man explosive cast for disengage eventually after a flash out from Smurf, but second inhib goes down now. They are continuing to push. It is a little bit riskier, I guess, than recalling, but with this Baron and how far ahead they are, they should be able to just end eventually. It is an initiation here found. Arashi does get the knock up, but that Hextech is going to go down. Sorry, it is now Shearer, 1 HP, does go down eventually to grab it to him as Minji finishes off one of the towers. Blaze now able to get out, a depth charge used onto Minji. It is also not going to go down. They should turn their attention here towards the Nexus, although maybe they're trying to farm some KDA. It is going to be Kai'Sa found, Nautilus found eventually. LGW manages to turn one around, but with 4 people fighting him on this fountain, it should be going down.
Yeah, and just like that, J-Team, they welcome back Impunity's new roster here to the PCS and pick up a win in only 21 minutes and 56 seconds. I have to say,